25th, 2020, and this is Livetalk Diaspora Forum. I'm Jonga Kandemiri.
And I'm Kip Stube.
We would like to inform our listeners that today we are not able to give you a live show as we usually do from our studios. This is because of the coronavirus pandemic. However, we are able to record and send to you the audio from this current discussion. So feel free to join in our show. Tonight, we are discussing in our Diaspora Forum, discussing about the coronavirus pandemic.
To join the discussion, please hook up with us. We are going to post a link where you can actually click and then join the show. What we know is that today there are some nurses and doctors who actually downed tools saying that they don't have protective gear because they are worried about what is going on in the country.
And also, Gibbs, I understand that workers at the Robert Mugabe International Airport, the Zimra workers have withdrawn their services, saying that they are now in danger, with some claiming that they interacted with some of the people who tested positive to coronavirus.
So join us right now and tell us what you're doing wherever you are and how you're experiencing the coronavirus kind of pandemic situation. So now, I think we've got our two guests already lined up. The first guest is Mr. Basil Nyati. He's based here in USA, in Houston, Texas. So, Mr. Nyati, welcome to the program. Can you hear us? Welcome to the program.
I can hear you clearly. Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate this. I'm very pleased to be with you guys and just discuss this matter. This is a very serious matter that is affecting everybody globally, but it's going to get worse in Zimbabwe because of our lack of preparedness, and we need to brace ourselves and find ways to actually get a hold of this before it gets ahead of us. I'm very, very scared of what will happen over the next coming weeks or months if this continues.
Yes, Mr. Nyati, hold on there. I think we've got another guest. I'll let Mr. Kandemiri to introduce him.
We also have Dr. Fortune Nyamande, who is the chairperson or chairman of the Zimbabwe Doctors Association the Zimbabwe Doctors for Human Rights. Dr. Nyamande is in Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. Dr. Nyamande, welcome to our show.
Thank you, Jonga, and thank you for having me.
Dr. Nyamande.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Mr. Nyamande, go ahead, sir.
Okay. Yes, I was saying thank you for having me, and just as a point of correction, I'm briefly in Zimbabwe.
Is off.
No, we can hear him, Jonga. Let him talk. We can hear him. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I was saying thank you for inviting me, and thank you for this program. Currently, I'm in Zimbabwe. Yes, I'm based in Sweden, but I'm currently in Zimbabwe in the meantime.
So let's get the ball rolling. Let's start with you, Dr. Nyamande. Tell us about the situation right now. We hear some doctors are even downing tools and nurses too, and people are just going about their business in Zimbabwe. What's going on?
Yeah, it's quite a very complicated situation here in Zimbabwe.
Yes, Mr. Jonga, we can hear him. We can hear him.
I can't hear Dr. Nyamande.
Oh, okay. Can you maybe open your volume? We'll hear you from there. Yeah. Okay. So maybe your volume is, but I can hear him very well. Okay. So quiet, Nyamande. Then we'll see what we can do as we progress.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying thank you very much for the question. The situation in Zimbabwe at the moment is quite very complicated. As you have rightly mentioned, there are threats of industrial action from the government doctors and also the nurses working in government facilities. So, in our view, this adds the complexity of the situation that is currently facing our our nation in view of the COVID-19 pandemic that has ravaged most countries across the globe. Secondly, we have also seen a raft of measures coming from the executive where they were trying to enforce social distancing mechanisms so that the public starts to keep their distance, starts to stop from doing their business as usual, and enforce some mechanisms which contain the spread of this virus. But from the observations that we've done over these past few days, we have not seen the public heeding the call to maintain social distance. Most shops are going on as usual. Most people are gathered in town, they are gathered in fuel queues, they are gathered in food queues, and along a lot of other gatherings. And we think that the public is generally not taking this pandemic with the seriousness it deserves.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nyamande. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear Mr. Nyati, but I cannot hear Dr. Nyamande.
Yeah, okay. So we'll try to fix that. So maybe you can pose a question to Dr. Nyamande. He's going to hear you, your question.
Dr. Nyamande, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, he can hear you, Jonga. He can hear you.
He can hear me. Okay, but I can't hear him. Okay, let me just throw in a question. Ndotineshona Dr. Nyamande, taona kuti zvinhu muZimbabwe zvinenge zvatanga kusamira zvakanaka. Titoona kuti vana mukoti navana chiremba vari kunzi vakanda mapadza pasi. Zvimwe chetezvo nemamwe makambani atovhara vachityira kuti vashandi vangatapuriranwa utachiwana hwecoronavirus. Zvizvi zvamungataura imi sesangano ravana chiremba vanorwira kodzero dzevanhu, tichinzwa kuti vana mukoti navana chiremba vari kunyunyuta kuti havana zvikwanisiro zvekushandisa kudzivirira
You can respond now, Nyaman.
Okay, tinotenda nemubvunzo wenyu. Zimbabwe tingati pari zvino matanho abva kumasangano ana chiremba nana mukoti anowedzera kuoma kwedambudziko ratinaro muZimbabwe maringe nechirwere cheCovid-19.
Then you get just hold on. Yeah, now go ahead. We can see you now. Go ahead, sir.
Saka tinoona kuti nyaya dziri kutaurwa nana chiremba nana mukoti vanoshanda muzvipatara zvehurumende inyaya dzinoenderana atinoti muchirungu maworking conditions avo. Vanotarisirwa kunge vachishanda vakapfeka hembe nhumbi.
Is Mr. Nyati speaking?
No, it's Nyamande. Let Nyamande finish now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Vana mukoti nana chiremba vanofanira kunge vachirwisana nedenda reCovid-19 vakazvidzivirira, vakapfeka zvinhu zvinoita kuti vasatapurirani kuwana chirwere cheCovid kubva kuvarwere vavo. Saka ndiwo mashoko avaisa vari kunyunyuta. Tinoona nezuro vakanyora matsamba avakaadhiresa achienda kuna Ministry of Health vaObadiah Moyo kuti vagadzire nechimbi chimbi nyaya yatinoti personal protective equipment. Saka tinoona sekunge pasina kuwirirana kana kunzwanana kwakanaka pakati pana chiremba nehurumende yeZimbabwe. Isu sesangano rinorwira kodzero dzevanhu tinonyanyoshushikana kuti kana paine kusawirirana kwakadai pakati pana chiremba nehurumende, zvichapedzisira zvava kukanganisa yatinoti the right to health yemapatients. Isu hatikurudzire kuti varwere vashaye vanhu vanokwanisa kuvarapa muzvipatara, kunyanya takatarisana nedambudziko reCovid-19. Saka tinokurudzira zvikuru kuti sangano rana chiremba naMinista Obadiah Moyo vagare pasi nechimbi chimbi vawane yatinoti a win-win solution kuita kuti tisarasikirwe neupenyu kunyanya nedambudziko ratakatarisana naro iri. Zvinyunyuto zvana chiremba hazvisi zvitsva. Munoziva vana chiremba vakaenda for more than 3 months vachiratidzira muZimbabwe vachiti maworking conditions avo haana kunge kunyatsotsaukana zvakanaka. Asi tinoona kunge hurumende yakaita yatinoti lip service mukugadzirisa zvainyunyutwa nana chiremba. Pari zvino tinokurudzira zvikuru kuti mapato mairi aya vagare pasi vaise musoro pamwe chete tiwane solution nekukurumidza tisarasikirwe neupenyu hwevana vezimbabwe nekuda kwemakakatanwa aya. Kana zvichinge zvisina kugadziriswa, isu semachiremba anorwira kodzero dzevanhu tichazenge tichitora nyaya iyi toendesa kumadzitare edzimhosva tichisamona the Minister of Health kuti agadzirise nechimbi-chimbi kusawirirana kuripo nana chiremba vanoshanda muzvipatara zvehurumende.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nyamandi. Let's go to Mr. Nyati. Mr. Nyati, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
So
I would like to pose a question. I would like to pose a question to the doctor.
So before that,
you are in Zimbabwe. Can you confirm that you're in Zimbabwe, right?
Yes.
Since you're in Zimbabwe, I mean, the most important thing, obviously, is to be for the healthcare workers to be prepared for this, which is they need supplies. So let's first get it in the open. Guti, there are no supplies for the people as of right now. The attitude of there are no supplies for all the healthcare workers. They don't have gloves. They don't have masks. There are no ventilators. The very people, some of them in the Ministry of Health, who are supposed to be tasked to do this, went ahead and bought themselves brand new cars instead of buying these supplies, which will eventually help millions of people. That's one of the first things. The second thing you spoke about the attitude of the government or the attitude of the people. Equally, I say the attitude of the government as well should be called into text. I saw a video online circulating on WhatsApp, whether it was true, some people in churches being beat up by the police. I said, okay, maybe this is the government trying to disperse the people. That might be one of the situations. But the honest truth is, I think on Wednesday or Thursday last week, on Wednesday, yes, I'm sure it was Wednesday, the president gave a public address saying that there's going to be a shutdown of the country. The following day, they went on to have parade hour and all the campaigning, the rallies. At that particular rally, he was telling people that, no, I said this is going to be in effect on Friday. That's 24 hours. As a healthcare worker, you know it for a fact how many people can get infected by this virus in 24 hours. Africa is the least prepared continent for this virus. The only thing that we had going for ourselves is that we had very few flights coming from other parts of the world. And the only thing that was going to help us in Africa is to play defense and play prevention, shut down our borders and try to stay still. Because once this thing is really inside the country, it is going to be very difficult to stop it. There have been constant rumors, of which I don't try to follow some of these rumors, of other people, Asian nationals who've been in the country, some of them who might have even died, and nobody has seen that. And right now, the Ministry of Health is saying there's only 3 cases of the virus, which is also not true. I would like to have your opinion on this.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for the comments and maybe the last question. What I would say, I agree mostly with some of the things that you have mentioned. I'll talk to the issue of, firstly, the political will. Like rightfully as you have said, the president announced this one set of measures.
Mr. Nyamandi, just 1 second. Chonga, can you hear him right now?
I can't hear him.
Okay, can you do us a favor, Chonga? Can you cut and come back? Let
me do that, because I can only hear you and Mr. Nyati.
Yeah, okay, cut and come back, then you pick him up.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So let me go back to Ubabu Nyati. Ngesindebele Baba Nyati. So
yes,
ngakhangele khona kuBaba Nyati okwenzakalayo khonapha kwele Melika use eHouston khona ngapho kwele Texas usitshela ngamafutshane in less than 2 minutes ukuthi uhamba njani ku self quarantine uyasebenza uhamba njani khona.
No, as of right now, I'm not really in self quarantine. I travel.
Sometimes ngesindebele khona manje.
Okwamanje ngizihlalele endlini, angiyi emsebenzini. Ngiyaphuma kuphela ngisiyathenga ama groceries lezinye izinto ezingabe ngizifuna lapha endlini bese ngiphenduka ngizehlala endlini ngoba kuyinto engiyaziyo ukuthi it only takes a second ukuthi ngihambe somewhere lapha engizathola umuntu olalele ivirus. It's either umuntu onxe othimuliye kumbe wakhwehlela somewhere kumbe i-rail kumbe i-tray lokuze ni-trolley ye-supermarket If I touch that trolley maybe in the next 12 hours, I'm already at risk of catching that virus. Lama ukuzibamba kwami, you know, it's very sesikhuluma iqiniso. Even ama-healthcare workers will tell you kunzima ukuthi kube lento ekudisturba ebusweni wehle ukuthi uze nwai. You know, it takes a lot of discipline ukuthi ungaze nwai. So anything nje uyakwanisa ukuthi ubambe lo mkhuhlane just like that. So people should be uba kumele sizame ukuthi sifundisaneni ukuthi lento is serious. Asonto yokudlala umkhuhlane o very very serious. And lapha esivela khona kwele Zimbabwe asilayo imithi lelokuzeni lezi ndleko ezingasincede ukuthi sinjani zisiphathise ukuthi singatholi lo mkhuhlane. Kumele nje okunye vele individual wonke umuntu nje athi stay away ube sendlini uthenge nje okuyigrocery wakho uziyele endlini uhlale endlini uzama ukuthi take ama vitamins nxa ukhona, because into le is only going to get worse, and by the time it hits Africa, and it's going to be very bad. It is really going to be very very bad.
Yeah, so guys, we're Baba Jonga. Baba Kandemiri, can you hear us now?
Yes, I'm not sure about Dr. Nyamande.
Yeah, can you communicate with him so that we hear whether we can talk to him now?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Thank you. I can hear you now.
Okay, go ahead, check and come close to your mic. Come close to your mic, please.
Yes, what I wanted to say is, so far the world is over 445,000 cases and over 19,000 deaths. And, some people were saying that Zimbabwe has taken too long to take action. Dr. Nyamande, what type of action can you recommend Zimbabwe should take?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. So I will first answer Mr. Jonga's questions. Then I will also try to incorporate Mr. Nyati's comments also as I respond to this. I will speak from the position of our association and also maybe as a public health scientist. In terms of the existing response by the Zimbabwean government, I think we've noted about 5 areas which we think are of concern to us. Number one, the ports of entry screening and preparedness in Zimbabwe. We think that the government is telling the nation a dummy in terms when they are saying that they are adequately screening people at the ports of entry. We have witnessed through our people who passed through the airport. We've witnessed that the people who are manning the airport, they are simply asking an individual whether or not you are coming from a high-risk country or not. And it is up to the person to own up. If someone chooses to say they are not coming from a high-risk country, at some times they are not physically verifying the passport to see if the person is coming from a high-risk country. So it means there's a loophole there. We have people who are getting into Zimbabwe who may misrepresent at the border in terms of where they are coming from. Secondly, at the ports of entry again, for those who are coming from high-risk countries, what we see lacking is that there is no enforcement of a mandatory quarantine order as announced by President Mnangagwa. What we just see is someone is asked to fill in a form, and when they fill in a form, and if they are cleared and their temperature is checked, then they get into the country. What then happens when the person is in the country? The state must ensure that these people are taken into a government-monitored quarantine facility so that we see whether or not people are adhering to the quarantine order is announced by President Mnangagwa. So there's a real risk that a lot of people are getting into the country from high-risk countries, and by the time they pass through the border, they may be in the incubation period. They may not be showing any symptoms, and then they spread the disease in the community once the incubation period is over. So we have raised this point with data that the government must come up with a mandatory quarantine mechanism where they come up with facilities where all visitors who are coming into the country should be quarantined, monitored for 14 days, and if they don't develop symptoms, then they are released to interact with the community. This is not happening. And this poses an existential threat as people with possible COVID are coming into the country. Secondly, the social distancing, and the Mr. Nyati has also highlighted it. We see the president indicating left and then turning right. The president announces one day that the country is now practicing social distancing. We know that social distancing is being used the whole world over as a measure of flattening the curve. We need to make sure that we've got fewer new infections which are spread over a long period of time so that we do not overburden the health system. The president goes ahead to conduct a Politburo meeting. The president goes ahead to conduct a political rally, for example. So we expect the political leadership to lead by example. We expect President Mnangagwa himself. We expect the opposition political parties. We expect civil society groups to be the role models as far as social distancing is concerned. And we need also to come up with a social distancing model which is reflective of the prevailing economic situation in Zimbabwe. You cannot just tell someone to go and sit at home when they are a vendor. You then need to come up with the complementary social support mechanisms so that when they are sitting at home, they also have got other alternatives, sources of income. Thirdly, we raised the point of health facilities preparedness. And I think we've had the circumstances that led to the demise of the patient who was diagnosed with COVID just a few days ago. The current facility, which is designated by government, which is the Wilkins facility, is grossly ill-prepared to deal with COVID cases. In fact, it does not have the necessary sundries. We heard of relatives going into town, into private pharmacies to buy drugs. We heard of relatives going to private hospitals to borrow ventilators. We heard of the pathetic prevailing situations as far as lightning, the state of the rooms themselves. So we think that the Minister of Health, Mr. Obadiah Moyo, is really selling the country down in terms of how prepared we are as a country. And we think he really needs to own up and realize that he's playing with the lives of millions of Zimbabweans who are facing the risk of contracting COVID.
But
Number four,
okay.
Maybe let me just finish. I'm left with 2 points. Number four, the health workers support. Health workers cannot respond to COVID when they are not adequately protected from contracting the virus. Health workers cannot adequately respond to COVID when they are earning an equivalent of $100 per month. Nurses are earning an equivalent of $50 per month. How do you expect those people to risk themselves, to throw themselves in the front line and assist in dealing with this pandemic? The government needs to come up with urgent incentivizing mechanism for health workers, for doctors, for nurses.
Let me cut you short there, Dr. Nyama. So there is a ZANU-PF activist by the name Philip Kaule. You know, I was talking to him this morning about, you know, people complaining and all these kind of things. You know, he said to me, most of those people that are complaining are anti-government. So he was referring to people like Dr. Nyamati and others. So he was saying everything is in good shape. Can you listen to what?
Okay, I think we need to depoliticize the issue of coronavirus. Coronavirus is not looking at someone's political affiliation.
Okay.
We need to put the interest of the nation
okay,
ahead
Dr. Nyamande,
and deal with the issue truthfully.
Dr. Nyamande, listen to him. Here he is. I'm trying to bring him on board here.
The coronavirus umkhuhlane lo umkhuhlane omubi kakhulu njalo umkhuhlane lo uvele wona usumemetheke wagcwala umhlaba wonke njalo waphuzelwa uqale China ngokubambe kuhle ukuthi ngabe yathi ngokwafana China yahle yabalendlela yokumisa njengendlela abawumise ngayo endaweni yabo kodwa akusizike kakhulu ngoba kwenzileyo ngoba kwezindawo vele umkhuhlane usugcwele usucaphakele wagcwala umhlaba wonke sokulwiswa kulomhlaba wonke ngokunjalo nxa ngikhangela mbona kuyikuthi kuzaba umsebenzi onzima kakhulu ukuqeda umkhuhlane lo kunjalo engikukhangelayo futhi ukuthi mina ngicina ngingasathembi amazwe la uAmerica labo China mbona ngani kule mpi zabo biological warfare zabo abazilwayo besenza ukuthi balimazane. Mbona ngani kule into yangabomo, umkhuhlane lo into yangabomo le ekhandwe ngabanye abantu abagangileyo nxa ngokhangela endlela enjengayina leyo. Mbona ngani amazwe la amakhulu la ama-superpowers la asibhodisa nje kodwa kule ndaba abayaziyo umkhuhlane nale njengayile. Umsebenzi kaSathane yonke le. Umkhuhlane lo umsebenzi ngoSathane sibili ehamba ngenyawo.
So I think you get him very clear. Papa Nyati, ngela khonapho ngamafitshane ngathi just hold on one second. Qhubeka khonapho Nyati.
I would like to say one thing. I appreciate what the doctor said. This is not a partisan issue. Everybody is going to be affected, whether you are ZANU-PF or MDC or any other party. And this is going to affect the entire African continent as long as we're not prepared for it. Nxa singayilungiselelanga le ndaba izasichaya sonkeni akula ukuthi kuyiphi party. Okwesibili butwami, the gentleman okhulume khathesi, I don't think you are a healthcare professional. The doctor here okhulumayo, he's a doctor and he's telling you into eyenzakalayo. He's talking about things azibonayo. These are things that are happening. The death toll is not a conspiracy theory. That's one thing Omelo is with put. Indole is not about ZANU-PF. People are going to die in big numbers. If ZANU-PF is doing something that benefits you, and then you decide to protect them at the cost of so many people, it is very wrong. Even if I was in an opposition party, if that party was doing something that benefits me financially, and then I stand by and benefit it, I am corrupt and what I'm doing is wrong. Let us call the truth, and let us state facts. People's lives are at risk. And in millions, abantu bazakufa in numbers. Our hospitals are not prepared. Even in the numbers that they're going, once this curve starts going up, the doctor will confirm the hospitals will be overflooded, overflowing with people. The very minister who is tasked to help this probably also got another car as well. Instead of focusing on getting armor supplies, it's not a matter of partisanship. It's a fact. But leadership is failing us.
Yes, what I wanted to say, Gibbs, is from what Mr. Billy Paul just said, I think that is a ZANU-PF point of understanding that this is a warfare between superpowers and all that. You remember recently ZANU-PF chairperson Opam Chinguri, Ms. Mchinguri said this has nothing to do with Zimbabwe. It is about America. Now that America is feeling the pinch, they know if they sell that idea to ordinary Zimbabweans, I think they are going to put many people in danger.
So let's get your opinion on this, Dr. Nyamata. Just briefly, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I think I have no time for what I call viral denialists. You know, we've had Thabo Mbeki in South Africa denying the existence of HIV, and we saw the catastrophic consequences of that denialism. And we've heard also even from this gentleman's political party, ZANU-PF, where they claimed that this was coming out from a rock, and we've never had abundance of this in Zimbabwe. So honestly, I don't have time to respond to that.
So what's the way forward, Dr. Nyamade, in terms of people having these kind of interactions, social distancing, and all those kind of things? Can you advise people, quickly, 1 minute, what people should do?
Yes. What I think is Zimbabweans need to take the call by the president, Mnangagwa, for social distancing seriously. People need to stay in their houses. If we stay in our houses and we practice good hygiene, we are going to give the healthcare system enough time to deal with the few cases that we have already. If we don't practice social distancing, if we keep on going to church, if we keep on going to work, if we keep on moving around and visiting our relatives, our friends, unnecessarily, we are going to cause a very huge burden to the already strained healthcare system in Zimbabwe. Please stay at home. Let's stay at home. Let's give the healthcare workers the chance to deal with the few cases. The government must also consider that health is a right, and it is their responsibility to make sure that the current facilities are up to the required standard, so that anyone who falls ill from COVID, myself or anyone included, will be able to get the right treatment without being influenced by the hierarchy in the socio-economic standing.
Thank you so much, Baba Chonga. Can you come in now?
Yes, Gibbs, I also spoke with some vendors union leaders. They are saying that they are willing to leave the streets or their vending sites. But what they are also asking the government to do, like what Dr. Nyamande previously mentioned, is to get an assistance, at least assistance from the government in terms of income, because vending is their sole source of income. And mostly in Zimbabwe, people live from hand to mouth. So they are saying the small to medium enterprise ministry should take care of all those vending who survive on vending. At least they get something. Like here in America, I think if you lose your job, you get something to survive until you get another job. So that's what they are talking about. And I'm not sure whether our government is able to do that. I've been trying to get hold of someone from ZANU-PF, but I think with time we may manage to get hold of that gentleman to join us here. But as of now, the government is saying that things are okay and people are willing to abide by whatever or the rules and the regulations. But the thing is the government able to assist? That's the question now.
Baba Nansi ingoko lapha siyayizwa lapha ke eMelika kuhamba njani siyabona ukuthi lapho khona self isolation ukwenzani khona angasitshela njani
Lapha ngikhona ngiku self isolation. I am not sick right now, but I have decided to stay at home and just go out to buy my groceries and make sure ukuthi lami I'm doing this in a positive manner, knowing fully what lo mkhuhlane is going to affect just about everybody. So staying at home helps the healthcare workers, just like who doctor just said. Staying at home helps doctors because singagula sonke, there won't be enough spaces bedlam. So I'm just staying at home, self-quarantining, making sure what you're healthy at all times. What you just said right now about government preparedness and what the government is willing to do to help the people. I honestly think even if you get in touch with this gentleman from ZANU-PF, there is very little that the government is able to do right now. If they're only going to pay nurses $50, what more a vendor on the streets? The honest truth, I think people are just going to have to find a way to just hunker down for a while, and there's going to be some serious issues. That is why I wrote a petition that is to the World Health Organization, United Nations, because we will need aid. The country doesn't have the resources or the money to deal with this kind of a thing. And the abantu that you're talking about, who are vendors, will need food to stay at home. And the only reason that help makes them go out is to try and find money and to get food for the family. But the government doesn't have that money. And some people may argue and say the government doesn't even care with the way they are behaving right now. Another thing that the doctor mentioned that I think I'd also want to mention, I think people need to stop taking every message or post on Facebook or WhatsApp as reality. There is so many stupid things that people are posting. Even here in America, there was something about a commissioner in one of the counties who said people should use blow dryers up their nose and hit their nose, and it would kill the virus. People will die in numbers, and all the African concoctions and all that stuff. It's a very big problem. They are still learning about this virus. You can ask the doctor himself. They are still doing research on this virus currently.
Yes, so
people need to slow down on all the nonsense that goes on online about trying to find quick remedies.
Yes, because
of that.
That's right.
And then the other thing the doctor spoke about, I have friends in Bulawayo, Mpilo Hospital, who tell me that the place is in terrible condition. The management there is terrible, and as a result, they are struggling.
Besides that, sizwe ukuthi ujonge ngathini kulokho nje kuba kunyama esikucele nje ukuthi ubuye for 30 minutes bona ngizani sesidlulise isikhathi sakho, so ungatsha the next 2 minutes bese usihambela mntu mdala babanyati ngokuthi hamba nje ngamafutha
Okay. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Njobe Chilo. I'm about to leave, but I encourage you, let's not just keep this as a talking thing. If there's anything that you guys can do, that we can do as the collective in the diaspora to raise money and help people in the country, because this is going to hit us. It's no longer a maybe issue. It's something that's going to affect everybody else. We can ascertain that the government is failing dismally at this. And if we raise money to give to the government, we will lose that money. Imagine if everybody in the diaspora raised $1. That money was put into an account and given to maybe the World Health Organization to buy supplies for the country, because we're going to be in trouble. I encourage everybody to find positivity in this difficult time. Let us not point fingers constantly. Let's find solutions to the problem and help each other. But but lastly, I'll just say, let us continue to do this. The government is really failing us, but let us find solutions. I believe we are very innovative people as Zimbabweans, and this is something that we can overcome. But government cannot stop us from living. You understand? We need to find a way beyond that. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So as kunoba uShepherd bezama ukungena kuhlelo khona manje Shepherd nxa usibona sicela uphenduke futhi sibona ngazani ucingo lwakho lubalekile. Kuzobuye uRobert Ndlovu laye uthi ucela ukungena kuhlelo. Robert Ndlovu klika ilink yena leyo esifake khona lapha ku Facebook page. So today we are doing this live talk, this Diaspora Forum in our own kind of backyards. So Jonga Kandumiri is my neighbor. He's in his house there, and I'm in my house right now. I think even Dr. Nyamandi is at home. I can see that is at home because of the furniture that you can see behind him. So now let's just turn to you, Baba Chonga. Nyamandi.
Dr. Nyamande, we are seeing many reports of trials and mega trials being done in various countries. Is there any positive result coming out of these trials for cure?
I think to the best of my knowledge, what we've been following is that... Hello?
Yes, Hello? He's talking. I can hear him.
I can't hear him. Maybe I have to leave again and come back.
Okay, no, that's fine. We can do that. Okay. Go ahead, Dr. Nyamande.
Okay, I was saying, to the best of my knowledge, we currently do not have a treatment for the coronavirus. And also, we do not have a vaccine for the coronavirus or the COVID-19 disease. So I think the mainstay of the treatment that we have at the moment is to deal with the public health approaches that have been advanced by the World Health Organization, social distancing included, and also practicing safe hygienic practices, washing hands, not touching our faces, and also coughing in our elbows and avoiding close contact and public gatherings. There have been quite a lot of insinuations. We've heard people talking of chloroquine, other people talking of antivirals, other companies acting, at a very fast pace, trying to come up with a vaccine. But as far as the vaccine is concerned, what we have heard is that it needs maybe a minimum of 12 months to 18 months from today for us to develop a vaccine. In terms of treatment, it is actually very difficult because, as far as we know, we do not have a treatment for most viral infections. What we can only have are drugs that can minimize the continued replication of the viruses. So I think our best bet here is to comply with the public health approaches that have been advanced by the World Health Organizations, and gratefully that have also been advanced by most political leaders across the globe.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nyamande. So, Jonga, can you hear us right now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. We are joined now by another person from Zimbabwe, and that is Mr. Robert Ndlovu. Mr. Robert Ndlovu is in Harare, I guess. Mr. Ndlovu, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, ngobulawayo.
Yeah, Bulawayo. So can you tell us the situation down there in Bulawayo? How is it going there?
What I would like to say, Okchwe, Munyamande, and the other guys, it's pretty straightforward. At this stage, I don't think we have time for arguments, finger pointing. But now the challenge that is there, that is real, and that we're staring is, 90% of people are unemployed. So the issue of staying home, while mathematically, that other notch number where one person infects two, infects so that they use in China, can use it here and we stay home, all of us, and they can then deal with those abakulai. Another problem is only today, when I passed through town, I saw like 4 queues. I bank abantu pushana, trying to get some money. And I also, in front of Zapara, that's Jason, and 9th, people crowding to get 10 kg of minimum. So this is the challenge that health workers and everybody else, the ministry, WHO, are going to find. In as much as people want to comply, some people are now taking a gamble like, okay, should I stay home, die of starvation, or should I take a risk, which obviously is not advisable. So I'm trying to put into light for the average Zimbabwean who cannot afford to, like somebody else said, they live hand to mouth. It's very rare to buy grocery for 1 week. Very few people can afford that. Some of us can, fine, but the bulk of people, they struggle with transport. Where they get their combis there in these zip codes to western areas, they queue for hours and they are crowded, and there's no other way of transport. So what I'm trying to say is, this social distancing is, to me, is the best. I mean, you nip it in the bud before the numbers count. But now people are like, okay, until when will I stay home? So I think this is where the challenge is. Otherwise, my kids at school, they started teaching them about corona, the Ministry of Education and Health. They're doing well. Like 4 weeks ago, wash your hands. When you cough, cover your mouth, and not sharing stuff. That is pretty awesome. But this is the challenge that we are having on the ground, not theoretical. Yes.
Yeah, ngesindebele nxa ungasibekela khonapho ubona ngani abantu kuyini okubahluphayo ukuthi bayenze khonoko kuthiwa i-social ukuvimba
ukuhlala khatshana kungabi seduze abantu ngani bahlutshwa ngumkhonomi. Abantu abaningi uzathola ukubana ekhaya lapha ngumaziphandela, balutshwana abaqhatshwe formal employment, doctors, engineers, nurses, teachers, balutshwana. So abaningi abavuka ekuseni esiyathengisa lakho akuthengisayo ukuthi etholeni imali yokuthi efika ngikhaya ethole ukudla. Bengalibali ukuthi kule drought eZimbabwe. Maybe that's something that we've overlooked. Kule drought, and I think it's 2 years in a running. So i-grain level low. Abantu badla umumbu kakhulu lapha. That's ukudla esikudlayo. Abantu bayakuzwisisa ukuthi ukubuthana lokho uzasibulala ngokubuthana kwethu njengempukane. Kodwa now abanye sebegcina besithi right. Okungcono yikuphi ukuthi ngife ngihlezi endlini angifela ngabantwana kumbe ngithathe i-chance ngiyezama ukuyadinga. Uyabona ukuthi bayakuzwisisa sibili ukuthi ukugeza izandla akusaqhawulana phela akusebechina ngezicathulo kwamabhawu sowavala kwama-nightclub. Bayakuzwisisa abantu kodwa iphango lisuka libe likhulu, indlala abantu abasacabangi ngengqondo. Uyabona, fine, they can like ubhuti lo owe-Texas utheni hunger down utheni kanti yizwe samfana ukuthi beqinisele. Yeah, they can do that abantu, but abawathi beqinise for how long ngoba uhulumeni sabazikalayo imali yokuthi efide abantu. This is where the problem. So yilo udubo olukhona. Otherwise people bayazwisisa sibili njalo ukufola emabhenki kuyakasabisa. Ezeqeda ukufola kwesinye isikhathi abayithola imali, kwesinye isikhathi bayithola bagijimela izimota zempuphu kodwa kuyabe kuyi-10 kg iyabe yakuchova iviki. So ngizama ukuthi yizi izinto ezomkhonomi ezazivele zingalungiswanga ezenza kube nzima abantu benjani benze kuhle. Then okucina laba abasebenzayo odokotela abantu ukuthi nje abanye imemory ingani yaphephuka ngonyaka enye bake bama umsebenzi abajaha besithi ama-conditions esebenza kuwo anzima. UCorona wayengabi popular, wayesakhona kusho ukuthi engxenye kwezindaba ama-laboratory research. Kodwa kwakungabi indaba esegudwini. Kwakhulunywa into lena kodwa ayiphutshanga into lena, abanye babotshwa abadokotela, omunye waqanula wahamba ayephelele emoyeni, bathi ngeke ngisebenzise ngalama-gloves, ngiya-operate njani umntwana. So as I'm speaking, ngibonani bagosilombe bastrikile. So how do we expect to be protective wena bengagqokanga kuhle in the first place?
So what Mr. Robert Ndlovu is saying is that, how do doctors protect people when they don't have protective clothing themselves? So Chokako and you can wrap up, and then maybe we can have 1 minute each of these two gentlemen.
We heard that China, there's a Chinese tycoon who contributed or donated protective gear to Zimbabwe, and I understand part of the consignment arrived in the country yesterday. Maybe what we can wait and see is how that will be distributed according to provinces. Are they going to distribute them according to these centers they have set up, or they are going to distribute according to provinces? That's another thing. But so far, they say that there's stuff that came in, masks, protective suits, and other requirements. And on the other hand, also, some people are complaining that they are not getting enough of information from the government. I don't know how best that can be reached at disseminating information, because like here in America, almost every day, the mayor of DC, the governor of Maryland, the president himself, they are all holding press conferences to brief the public on the developments with regards to this pandemic. I think that is one thing that Zimbabwe should also be doing at the moment, Gibbs.
So under those circumstances, Dr. Nyamande, the way forward, 1 minute.
Yeah, I think I agree with most of the suggestions. In terms of the equipment that has been donated, I still think we don't need to rely on donations only. We appreciate the donation, but I think, for example, 10,000 testing kits in the event of a fully blown outbreak in Zimbabwe, I think they are just a tiny drop in the ocean. So what we need is for the government to complement the donations, and also to, like what Mr. Jonga has said, maybe they can set up an information hub or an information portal or a website, for example. And also, let's consider our grandmothers in the rural areas and those who are in other areas where they cannot access the internet. So the mass media, the radio, the television, and even the community structures, the traditional leaders, the chiefs, they should be summoned to propagate information about coronavirus to the lowest level of the community, so that our people start to take preventative measures, which are the mainstay of preventing this virus for now. Prevention, staying at home, is our best bet. So let's stay at home and let's flatten the curve. Thank you.
And your last word, Mr. Robert Ndlovu.
Yes. Yeah, a quick one. Yes, I fully agree with him. In terms of communications, what I have noticed, because I'm coming from that background, is that most people, Zimbabwe has got an internet penetration of 59%. So it means only 59% can access internet. So I think the government wants to encourage companies to use regular old text messaging, because it's cheaper, they need to reach more people, and the use of radio stations, like the doctor said, because the data is expensive. This is why you don't see so many people on your shows. You understand? Because of data. So people might not get information, but I've seen banks that are doing well, Steward, Zimbabwe Online, they're sending informations via text messages. And I think that could go a long way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Sorry, we are out of time, and we have to leave it there. We thank our guests this evening, Mr. Basil Nyati in Houston, in Texas. And we wish to thank also Dr. Nyamande. He works with the Zimbabwe Zimbabwe Doctors for Human Rights. He will correct me there if I'm wrong. And then we've got Mr. Robert Ndovu. He is in Bulawayo. He used to work for a big company here in USA. I know that he has got his own company now in Zimbabwe. So thank you so much, Chonga, as well. So you can tell the listeners that we are done for today. So this is Gibbs Kiwe in Washington, D.C. saying good night, Zimbabwe. Chonga?
Neni Jonga Kandemiri ndiri muno kiti aiwa vanhasi tomirira pano tinotenda mose makwanisa kuteerera chirongwa chedu tosangana zvakare muzvirongwa zvestudio 7 zvinotevera morara zvakanaka.